Welcome into Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Hennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. It has been hot and brutal and disgusting in the Philadelphia area, including today, Tuesday. Just tough to be out there. Disgustingly hot. Anyway, you guys aren't here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk about your first place Philadelphia Phillies. So let's get right into it. Obviously, the Phillies are in first place in the National League East after a huge 3-game series win over the New York Mets at Citizens Bank Park this past weekend. They won that series 2-1. Just huge implications in the division and a huge series win by the Phillies. They had an off day on Monday as they're headed down to Houston, Texas to take on the first place in the American League West, Houston Astros, for a 3-game series starting tonight on Tuesday night, as I said, against the Astros. It's also the start of a 6-game road trip. After they wrap up this 3-game series against the Astros, they head to Atlanta to take on the Braves, who obviously haven't been the Braves that we're used to seeing so far in 2025. They're below 500. They've been struggling all season long. So hopefully the Phillies can stay on the winning ways against this tough series against the Astros. Obviously a very good team, one of the best teams in Major League Baseball so far in 2025, and then continue that to finish off the road trip against the Braves. That's still a little ways down the way, obviously, with this just being game 1 of the Astros series. As I said, hopefully the Phillies can continue riding their momentum after that huge series win to claim first place in the NL East over this last weekend against the Mets, right into this series against the Astros. Now, during that broadcast on Sunday Night Baseball, where the Phillies beat the Mets in that series finale to take sole possession of first place in the division, Bryce Harper was asked by the commentators during the broadcast when he'd return, maybe in the next 10 days or so. Obviously, Harper said that would be great. He hopes he could return sooner rather than later from his right wrist inflammation injury that he's been dealing with on the injured list. He mentioned that he's been taking swings over the last few days. He's trying to ramp himself up. He's feeling good with those swings, but he didn't and he doesn't want to put a timetable on his return. He wants to make sure that wrist is good to go before he gets back into live action, real game action for the Phillies. So he is progressing well, but we're still unsure when Bryce Harper is going to return to the Phillies lineup. Hopefully, as I said, sooner rather than later, because obviously Bryce Harper is just a game changer in the Phillies lineup, and they need him in there day in and day out to pursue their championship aspirations. On the other hand, the Phillies have been stepping up without Bryce Harper in the lineup, without their superstar. Bryce Harper has been out since June 5th. That was the last game he played before he landed on the injured list. The Phillies, they were struggling during that time frame right before Bryce Harper hit the injured list and a few games after he was on the injured list. But overall, they are 10-6 since June 6th, the day that Bryce Harper wasn't in the lineup for the first time. 10-6 in his absence, including 10 wins in their last 13 games. So they have been playing winning baseball. They've been getting the job done without their superstar, without their franchise player. That's great to see because obviously with a team like the Phillies who have a very high payroll, a lot of talent, a lot of veterans that are getting paid big money, they should be able to handle their own and get the job done without Bryce Harper in the lineup. That's why you pay these guys this kind of money, to be able to step up and fill in when somebody goes down and really just continue the dominance, continue the winning ways without any, setbacks or fallbacks from their performance with their superstar in the lineup. Trey Turner, the big money man, he's batting .303 during Harper's absence since June 6th. Nick Castellanos also making a ton of money. He's batting .288 since Harper's been out. Kyle Schwarber, big money. He has 5 home runs and 10 RBIs since June 6th, since Harper has been out of the lineup. And JT Realmuto, the big money catcher, he's batting an impressive .333 since June 6th when Harper's first was out of the lineup. Obviously, those are the 4 big money players in the Phillies lineup. but there's other guys that have been playing well as well. Alec Boehm, the third baseman, he's been hitting well really for the last few months. Honestly, the hottest, if not, maybe the second hottest, depending on how you would rank Trey Turner in there. But Alec Boehm has been getting the job done at the plate for the Phillies. Otto Kemp, also the young kid, the rookie, who was called up when Bryce Harper hit the injured list to pretty much replace Bryce Harper in the lineup as a first baseman. He's been playing third base a little bit, had an appearance in the outfield. He's been doing, honestly, really good in his first taste of Major League action. So it's been impressive out of Otto Kemp as well. Just impressive out of the entire Phillies team winning games without Bryce Harper. And as I said before, when you have a lot of veterans making a lot of money, you really shouldn't expect anything else than them just continuing to get the job done, even with missing a guy like Bryce Harper. Now, since the Phillies were off yesterday, obviously we don't have too much to talk about since there was no game. So let's talk about a prospect and the Phillies 2024 first round pick, Dante Nori. Dante Nori, as I said, was drafted last year in the first round by the Phillies out of Northville High School in Michigan. He's a 20-year-old outfielder. He's left-handed thrower, left-handed hitter. He is the Phillies' number 7 prospect already per MLB Pipeline, and this is his first full season playing professional baseball. Obviously, since he was drafted last year, he had some minor league appearances after the draft last year, got right into it, but this is his first full season down there. He has been playing in single A with the Clearwater Threshers. He's batting .253 with 11 doubles, 4 triples. He only has 1 home run, but he has 26 RBIs in 64 games so far in 2025 with the Threshers in single A. He also has been showing off his speed. He has 18 stolen bases in those 64 games. Throughout his minor league career so far this year and the few appearances he had last year after being drafted, he's played 64 games in center field with the Threshers, 1 game in left field, and then he has a few appearances here and there as the designated hitter. But he is also a very, very good fielder and above average fielder. He has a perfect fielding percentage in the outfield through those 65 games out there in his minor league career. Perfect fielding percentage. Just really impressive stuff out of Dante Nori, the young kid. Obviously, as I said, 18 stolen bases, really good defender. So he has the speed, he has the defense. They're both showing so far early on in his professional career, his minor league career down there in single A. The power, as I said, just 1 home run this year in 2025. He does have the 11 doubles, so he does have some pop in his bat there. He does find some gaps, 4 triples as well. With a young kid like that, 20-year-old, playing his first full season in professional baseball in the minor leagues, you really don't worry too much when the power numbers aren't there. The power will come with age and more experience. So really, he's got the speed, as I said, he's got the defense. He's hitting pretty well overall. The power will come eventually as he continues to develop as a professional hitter down there in the minor leagues. He does, as I said, have a .253 batting average so far in 2025. Not necessarily too high, not necessarily too low. Pretty average, but he has been heating up in the month of June. He has a .310 batting average in June with a .412 on-base percentage and a .408 slugging percentage. In June, he has 5 doubles and 13 RBIs with the Threshers down there in single A. So he has been heating up. Hopefully he continues that as the season progresses. And he just puts himself in a good position to continue his development into next season as he probably moves his way up in the Phillies farm system, in their minor league system. Now, also, as I've been doing in a lot of these videos recently, a lot of trade rumors, especially surrounding the Philadelphia Phillies, who are one of the top teams in Major League Baseball right now. The July 31st trade deadline is rapidly approaching. It's a little over a month away. The Phillies will be making moves. They will be active in the trade market to not only improve their championship odds, improve their team overall. They really need help in the outfield. They really need help in the bullpen especially. And a guy that could be of interest is really one of the best closers in all of Major League Baseball, and 3-time All-Star, Cleveland Guardians, Emmanuel Clase. Now, Emmanuel Clase, he may not be available just because of how good he is and how important he is to the Guardians. He is obviously their closer, as I mentioned. He's still young. He's 27 years old. He's a right-handed pitcher. As I said, he's a 3-time All-Star. He's also a 3-time American League saves leader. The previous 3 seasons before this year, obviously, that's when he was the American League saves leader each of those previous 3 seasons. And of those 3 seasons, he led the major leagues, entire major leagues, not just the American League in saves. He's a 2-time major league saves leader, first time in 2023, and then again back in 2022, 2023. He's a hard thrower. He can reach triple digits. He does have a career high 3.48 ERA so far in 2025, but that's not terrible. He also has 18 saves in 2025, which are good for the 4th most in all of Major League Baseball, tied for the 4th most, I should say. Emmanuel Clase is having another dominant season for the Cleveland Guardians. He has 3 more years of club control. He'll be making about roughly $6.4 million in 2026 next season, and then he has 2 consecutive years to finish off that contract of $10 million club options for 2027 and 2028. He'll be a free agent in 2029. Now, Cleveland, obviously, they had made an American League Championship Series ALCS appearance last year in 2024. This success hasn't quite been the same so far in 2025. They're just 2 games above 500 at 39-37. They're second in their division in the American League Central. They are currently 8.5 games behind the Detroit Tigers of first place in the AL Central, and they are a half game out of an American League wildcard spot. So, as we inch closer to this trade deadline, the Cleveland Guardians could become sellers by the deadline, and obviously one of their top assets, if not their top assets in trade chips, will be their closer, Emmanuel Clase. He will not come cheap for any team looking for bullpen help. It's going to take a massive haul to pry him away because he has those 3 more years of club control. He's still young. He throws hard. He is one of the best, if not the best, closers in Major League Baseball over the past few years. Just, you got, if you want somebody like that, you got to pay a pretty penny, and the Phillies would have to do that if they're interested in Emmanuel Clase and if the Cleveland Guardians make him available. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Hennelly. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Hopefully the Phillies can stay in their winning ways with a big series opening win against the Houston Astros tonight in Houston. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, go Phils.